change more. Know yourself and we will win this war. Too many problems, not enough solutions. You're in the equation, but you're nothing but a nuisance. A nuisance. We're gonna change your mind. Look inside yourself and find hate, find fear. Your life is over here. You want to fade from time, reaching out from the inside your face. Well, it'll disappear with years.
Hello and welcome to Legend of Combat Fight Night. We are just coming off the back of an enormous pay-per-view event. In the main event, we saw Cameron Dunn defend the bantamweight title against Jay Ruddock, but Cameron Dunn would knock Jay Ruddock out with a straight left and then followed by a ground and pound at the end of the first round. Cameron Dunn is still the bantamweight champion. And then the co-main event, we saw the lightweight title on the line as Kai McMahon defeated Son Simpson via a roughly body shot in the fourth round, and just it shook the world with that body shot. But let's take a look at tonight's Fight Night card. We have a stacked card for you tonight. Kicking things off in the lightweight division, Richard Ramirez finally makes his lightweight debut as he takes on Sonic the Hedgehog, who is 0-1. And then the co-main event, Bob Kimball and Farsi Base. Farsi Base coming off the back of a tremendous win last week against Neil Sword Finn. Of course, Bob Kimball 1-0 in the league as he defeated Tony Vincenzo. And then the main event for 5 rounds, Will Savage 1-0 will take on former lightweight champion Body Snatcher. And what a 50-50 fight that was going to be. That is a mega fight for tonight's main event. So here we are now in the lightweight division. Richard Ramirez, there he is, in the purple gloves and the purple shorts. You know, he's been signed to Legend Combat for a couple of months now, so it's finally good to get him inside the octagon. And he's taking on somebody who's fought before, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic, of course, fought Will Savage in Will Savage's first fight. The 2 touch loads were underway. Richard Ramirez started off with a body shot, started off strong there. And you know, it's Sonic's movement that really made him look so good against Will Savage. You know, Will Savage did TKO him in the third round, but you know, it was a competitive fight. You know, it wasn't a one-side domination by Will Savage. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog won that. He would have been in tonight's main event against Body Snatcher, but you know, everything happens for a reason, and the two trade there. You know, that's going to be such a quick fight. You know, the two are so quick. Good leg kick there by Sonic. You know, but there is the movement of Sonic the Hedgehog. Nobody moves like him. You know, he flows. You know, he's like a stream of water. He just flows. A good right hook there by Richard Ramirez. Good combination by Ramirez in the blonde hair. Of course, Sonic sporting the blue spiky hair. You know, the winner of this, you know, there's so many good fights in the lightweight division that can be made in the new year. You know, this is what's going to be the last fight night of 2022. And, you know, this definitely be these two last fight this year. God, it really seemed like I was having a stroke there. I could have spit my words out. And that's a good uppercut by Richard Ramirez. Another good uppercut by Richard Ramirez. A good knee to the body by Richard Ramirez. And a good body kick by, you've guessed it, Richard Ramirez. Sonic the Hedgehog needs to pick up his game here, as he's been eaten, chewed and swallowed by Richard Ramirez. Good spinning head kick there by Sonic. You know, he's just got such a fun game, such a fun persona, Sonic the Hedgehog. And you know, he's definitely someone that could climb the rankings in the lightweight division. You know, yes, he suffered an L in his first fight, but he could easily bring back, you know, a win. You know, you can't have an L without LoC. Or, no, well, it's the way about, I suppose. You can't have LoC without an L. And you know, like Reese Evans says, if you've not lost in this sport, you've not fought the right people. You know, it is the big quote from the big loser, but you know, it does make sense, and a good leg kick by Sonic the Hedgehog. And you know, he really commits to his fights, Sonic. You know, he really puts the time in, and that's a good capitalised there by Sonic the Hedgehog. But you know, you'd love to see him fight more. You know, he's a big fan favourite. Good left hook there by Sonic the Hedgehog. Mitchell Ramirez just trying to make a statement here tonight, as we have just over a minute left in the opening round, scheduled for 3. Mitchell Ramirez going to the body with another body kick. You know, he's really landing the body shots here. You just got to wonder where the winner of this one will go next. You know, especially the loser of this one. Where the loser going to go down the rankings, definitely. Sonic the Hedgehog would be 0-2 if he lost here tonight.
Not a great start to his Legends of Combat career, but let's not focus on that just yet. He is only 0-1, and he might get his win here tonight. And a good take, I don't know where that came from. Something that came out of the Matrix, I think. Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't know what he's doing, but there's a bit of a time jump there, but about 3 seconds or something. But a take it did land, and something straight out of the Matrix. And we're going to go to the second round now. And let's take a look at that head kick. It was just a front kick right to the chin of Richard Ramirez, the Mexican fighter. And he took it well, to be fair. He took it well. We're about to kick off the second round now. The two touch gloves. Richard Ramirez, the southpaw fighter. Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, Richard Ramirez moves to orthodox. The orthodox fighter. Next one, Sonic the Hedgehog, the orthodox fighter as well. A good straight down pipe by Richard Ramirez. Clinton does Sonic the Hedgehog. A good straight right by Sonic the Hedgehog. This one's a fight now. There's a good leg kick by Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a two breakaway. There's a bit of distance here. Bit of distance in the octagon. The two move forward. Richard Ramirez missing a body kick. Sonic the Hedgehog missing a big right hook. A good jab established by Richard Ramirez. Maybe he just needs to take a pose. A good takedown attempt by Sonic the Hedgehog. He does. He gets it. Sonic the Hedgehog's in take control now. What will happen next? You've just got to love this fight. This is a great fight on paper, and it's been a great fight so far. Sonic the Hedgehog go for a ground pound there, but Richard Ramirez flips him over like he's just a sausage in the barbecue. And a good ground pound there by Richard Ramirez. He's landed a lot of great strikes. Sonic the Hedgehog holding on. Is he cut? Let's see if he's cut open. I can't see any blood coming out of the face of Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't think he's bleeding yet. However, if that ground pound continues, then there will definitely be blood all over the octagon. And if Richard Ramirez was a vampire, he would be loving it. If there was blood all over the octagon, he would not love daylight though. You've got to keep that in mind. Don't know why I just said that. Sonic the Hedgehog now go for a submission attempt. It seems like he's going to go for a limb submission. Oh, it's a Kimura. It's a Kimura. And it'd be interesting to see if he gets this one. Will he get it? Oh, he's walking. He's walking on it. Richard Ramirez might slip out. The Mexican might just slip out of the country here. I think he's going to get out of it. Richard Ramirez does get out of the Kimura, but barely. He's not out of it yet. Oh, it was a very close one. Could have went either way at the end. And Richard Ramirez ends up on top of Sonic the Hedgehog. Very interesting predicament now. Sonic the Hedgehog flips him over now, and he's on top of him. Sonic the Hedgehog, it might be time for his ground pound. Sonic the Hedgehog is about to battle Richard Ramirez on the ground like he's Dr. Eggman. But Sonic the Hedgehog stops the ground and pound. And it seems like he's close to try and working on maybe another submission. Maybe he needs to get some missing. And it seems that we're moving to full guard now. Sonic the Hedgehog moving back to half guard. Very interesting. Sonic the Hedgehog gets top mount. Oh, he's postures up. He's going for the ground and pound and he lands a few strikes. I think so. I need to go for another ground and pound. Richard Ramirez might be getting battered here. He might be getting his head smashed in. Sonic the Hedgehog needs to try and just finish the job here. And he's landing more strikes. He's going for more strikes. He lands a good straight right to the nose of Richard Ramirez. Dick Ramirez, if you will. And an arm triangle by Sonic the Hedgehog. Will he get it? Will he get some missing here in the second round? There seems to be 20 seconds left in the second round. And Richard Ramirez gets out of the arm triangle. The sneaky Mexican. And Sonic the Hedgehog go for another ground and pound now. And Richard Ramirez might be hanging on. 3 seconds left. And a good left hand to the nose of Richard Ramirez ends the second round. It could be one each. It might be one each or it might be just 2-0 Sonic the Hedgehog. It's really hard to tell. But either way, the third round will really determine the winner of this fight, I think. The two touch gloves and we are underway for the third and final round. This is a good left hook by Sonic the Hedgehog. He catches the leg of Richard Ramirez who falls to the floor. Good another left hook. There, and he stuns Richard Ramirez with a front kick. And Sonic the Hedgehog could be closing in on a win here. I'll go to a spinning head kick blocked by Ramirez. Ramirez is not going the way Ramirez wanted it to. He eats a left hook. Sonic the Hedgehog is taking no prisoners here. He's just happy to be back in the octagon. He said he's got a lot to prove after his loss to Wolf Savage, who will be in tonight's main event against Body Snatcher. A 5-round fight. That one's going to be iconic and made for the history books. Richard Ramirez trying to apply pressure, but he eats a 1-2-3. And Ramirez needs to be careful now. He lands a body shot. Does Ramirez lands another body kick? Sonic the Hedgehog throws the left hook. It lands. Throws a straight right. It lands. Sonic the Hedgehog landing good strikes. He lands a good right hook. And Richard Ramirez could be wobbled. His knee almost buckled. That's going to be interesting now. Who will win this one? Just over 3 minutes left. Under 3.5 minutes. We're in that middle part of the 3 minute mark. I know Sonic the Hedgehog's movement's just so good, just so underrated, and Victor Ramirez lands a good body kick, but he's eating a front kick to the face by Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog, oh, he drops Victor Ramirez with a spinning head kick. Sonic the Hedgehog goes for a ground and pound here, and he might punish Victor Ramirez, but he does not. He flips him over. Victor Ramirez now ends up on top, and I think he's going to go for a ground and pound here. It's going to be interesting. He's landing a lot of good strikes. He's throwing a lot of good strikes. Sonic the Hedgehog was hurt there on the ground. He was damaged. His face was eating a lot of punches, like he was a buffet. He's like, I'll take more punches, please. He's filling up his plate with punches, and we've got under 2 minutes left in this fight. Richard Ramirez not stopping with the ground and pound. Sonic the Hedgehog, he's got nowhere to go. He just needs to try and cover up. But Richard Ramirez gets up. I don't know why you would do that. What a silly move. What a silly sausage Richard Ramirez is. And we've got a minute and a half left in this round. And Victor Ramirez lands a spinning body kick. Sonic the Hedgehog has got a knockdown this round, so he will probably have the advantage if he goes to the judges' scorecards. And good knee to the torso by the Hedgehog. Good body kick by the Hedgehog. Sonic is doing a great performance here in the first round. He's really brought this fight back. I thought he was winning, but he's really cemented his winning ways. Richard Ramirez, he's putting a great performance here. His ground and pound was ferocious, but I don't think he's done enough to win yet. But we do have 30 seconds left in the round. So, Sonic the Hedgehog knocks Victor Ramirez down for the second time in this fight. Sonic the Hedgehog is really taking no prisoners. He's digging holes and taking holes. He's got a ground and pound going for Victor Ramirez, who's eating a lot of punches there. 15 seconds left in the round. And Sonic the Hedgehog doing the right thing. He's doing the ground and pound to end the round. I think if Sonic the Hedgehog, he should just keep battering Victor Ramirez. And the fight is over. We go to the judges' scorecards now. Who has won this fight? Let's take a look at round 1 highlights. Good leg kick by Sonic. Great leg kick by Sonic there. Round 2 now, what we seen, what highlight? Good left hook by Sonic. And it wobbled Richard Ramirez. You've seen a little stumble there. And the final round, the ground and pound, of course. Of course that was a highlight. Sonic the Hedgehog going for a ground and pound after a knockdown, I presume. And Richard Ramirez not looking too happy. I think he knows this fight's been took away from him by Sonic the Hedgehog. He's shaking his head. Who will win? Who will get the arm moves? It's Sonic the Hedgehog who moves to 1-1 in Legend of Combat. Ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday's card will be headlined by Cameron Dunn and the Joker 2, a highly anticipated bantamweight title rematch, and I have statements from both men. The first comes from Cameron Dunn, who says, I'm fully focused on the Joker right now in what seems to be one of the highly anticipated rematches of LoC. I did just say that, but I've got my eye on that lightweight division again. It's something I really want to get back, so this is a warning to the lightweight division, and whoever has the title when I'm ready, the King's coming back. The Joker says, I have a great deal of respect for Cameron Dunn, as I do all my opponents. This is the fight. The two pound for pound best going toe to toe for the title and the throne. My performance in our first bout is something I wish to correct, and I believe I will do so. I am confident, I am prepared. Mr. Dunn appears confident as well, but to play with Mr. J is to play with fire. A defeat to the Joker does strange things to a fighter. I eagerly anticipate our bout. I have to put smiles on faces and to take back the phone. See you then. And here we are in the co-main event, the heavyweight fight between Bob Kimble and Farcy Brace. Farcy Brace made his grand return last week after a win over a new debut Neil Sword Finn. There's Bob Kimble. We saw him batter the head of Tony Vincenzo somehow just a couple of weeks ago, and there's Farcy Brace, now 2-1 in the league. He's 1-1 for such a long time. He came back last week. The two touched gloves. Bob Kimble looks so impressive in his first outing. We'll see how we look tonight. A good straight right by Kimble. Another good straight right by Kimble. Kimble's landed a lot of good shots early on. Farcy Brace missing a few shots there. And Farcy Brace missing a big head kick. Almost paid the price of it by an overhand by Bob Kimble. Bob Kimble loves throwing hands. His wrestling seemed very great as well. He absolutely mauled Tony Vincenzo. So we'll see how his wrestling holds up here tonight against Farcy Brace. And I would love to break this news to the Legend Combat fans. The winner of this one gets been able by Bob Kimble. The winner of this one will fight for the heavyweight title next week at Legend of Combat Winter Warfare. And that will serve as the co-main event to Cameron Dunn and the Joker 2. A highly anticipated rematch, that one. But, Blade Simpson will be in action next week against the winner of this one. You've got to imagine Blade Simpson watching this one with his eyes glued to his television set or his phone or wherever he watches it on. Times Square billboards, perhaps. Good left hook there by Bob Kimball. A good lead up by Bob Kimball. And first base definitely for that one. Don't think he was wobbled, but he was definitely feeling the effects of it. And a good right hook there by first base. First base, a great striker. Heavyweight's just so stacked at the moment, to get a heavyweight title fight against the champion. That's what you want, and that is the end goal for any heavyweight fighter. But there's just so many heavyweights you need to beat now. Well, in Bob Kimball's case, it's 2. But all of that, there's so many heavyweight fighters now. So much competition at the top, at the big boy weight class. New Year's Day, that will be headlined by a heavyweight fight night. I can't confirm who, we'll find out next week. But it's a crack of a fight. I call them back so they know what fight it is, and you'll be very pleased at it, I think. Just under 2 minutes left. First base missing a big head kick. Bob Kimball should really capitalise on that. He should throw overhand. He should throw a head kick of his own. He should try and start first base in the air while he still has a chance. And a good jab by Bob Kimball, followed by a spinning back fist, just missing, just barely facing first base. Bob Kimball's got to go for a head kick there. First base kicks him to stop it. And Bob Kimball loves a good lead overhand. We've seen that. Oh, a good spinning elbow. Stuns. First base is stunned. He's moving back towards the cage, but he's still fighting. Lands a good right hook of his own. And Bob Kimball going for another spinning elbow. Doesn't quite land it. Oh, Bob Kimball goes down by a big right hook. Very quick right hook. Oh, first base stunned with left hook. Heavy. It's just so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. A big left hook by Bob Kimball. Knocked out. First base. Bob Kimball, you will be fighting Blaine Simpson next week for the Legend of Combat Heavyweight Championship. What a win, what a knockout, and what a statement. Bob Kimball, after getting dropped for a few seconds, comes back with a big left hook. He got knocked down with a left hook, and he comes back and knocks first base out with a left hook. How poetic. What a win for the Viking lookalike. 2-0 moves Bob Kimball, and he will fight for the title next week. And what a crack of a fight that is. 2 undefeated heavyweights. Blaine Simpson 3-0. Bob Kimball 2-0. Just so much on the line in that one. Plus the heavyweight title. I can't wait. It's the main event now. I can't wait for this one. I've been buzzing all week for this one. It is Wolf Savage and Body Snatcher. The anticipation is wild. You can feel it in the air. This one has got the making of a great fight. Body Snatcher landing a good body kick there straight away. That's why they come Body Snatcher. Will Savage landing a head kick of his own. Good right hook by Body Snatcher. Good straight by Body Snatcher as well. Good uppercut by Will Savage. These two are just so incredible lightweights already. Will Savage has only had one fight in the Legend of Combat lightweight division, but he already looked great in that one. Body Snatcher's had a good few wins. He's beat the likes of Son Simpson, Buffy Norma, and of course, Mr. Womack in a fight night headline in just his second fight. And it was just a great career by Body Snatcher. He lost against Red Dot, but other than that, he's had such... Oh, he's down! He got stunned and then he got dropped. Will Savage trying to take advantage of that one. 3.5 minutes left in the first round. I can't believe Body Snatcher just went down. Forget what I was saying. Let's talk about Will Savage down. Will Savage is also main eventing a fight night in the second fight. That was my point I was trying to make. I don't know why it took me 10 years to make it, but Will Savage landed a good straight and a good right hook by Will Savage. A good uppercut there by Body Snatcher going to body, but misses every single shot. And this one's just so incredible. I can confirm the winner will get a lightweight title fight next week. At Legend of Combat, the gears are always moving. Body Snatcher trying to get another title fight after losing to Red Dot. Will Savage trying to go for his first title fight in his career. A good right hook there by Body Snatcher. The two just came to fight. This one was always going to be a scrap. Scheduled for 5 rounds, of course. This is the main event. And a good straight right by Body Snatcher. But man, I just can't believe he got knocked down. And Will Savage, he's so powerful. He doesn't look like a lightweight. He looks like a middleweight in there. And a good straight right by Will Savage. And he drops Body Snatcher again with a big right hook. By an up kick by I was going to say Son Simpson. I don't know why I said that. By Body Snatcher stops Will Savage and attracts him. Body Snatcher stunned Will Savage now. This one's so 50-50. But Body Snatcher with a big straight right pine the head of Will Savage. Will Savage is in big trouble here. Body Snatcher's turned this fight on his head. And a good right hook by Will Savage. And we're going. We're doing the spins. And a big right hook by Will Savage. Crumbling body snatcher. Is it all over? I think it might be. Will Savage pounding away. He's clawing away. And he gets the win in the main event of Fight Night. Will Savage with a big right hook, dropping body snatcher to the floor, and I think body snatcher might have been out there and then, but then the ground and pound by Will Savage really put a stop at the end of that sentence. I cannot believe it. Let's take a look at the highlight here. Big right hook. The guard was dropped by body snatcher. I think body snatcher was going to go for a sort of his own. Let's see. I think he was loading up an uppercut or something, but he ate a big right hook instead, fell to his knees, fell on his side, and then he tried to cover up the ground and pound attack by Will Savage, but just a little too late as he was eating too many, and the referee called it off. But look at that, he's unconscious. What a win by Will Savage. 2-0 Will Savage, and Kai McMahon, you better be ready for Will Savage. That man is a savage. It's in the name. He's here to stay in Legend of Combat. Ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of fights tonight on Legend of Combat Fight Night, but take a look at this card next Sunday. Winter Warfare, Cameron Dunn and the Joker will run back their bantamweight title fight, the biggest fight in Legend of Combat history. The co-main event, Blaze Simpson fighting for the heavyweight title once again, defending the title, and it's against Bob Kimbo. Two undefeated heavyweights going at it, cannot even have one. And the lightweight title will be on the line as well, as Kai McMahon makes his first defence of the lightweight title, and that's against Wolf Savage, now 2-0. And we will also have Joe FR taking on Neo Sword Finn. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next Sunday for Winter Warfare, the last card of the year. Have a good week.